going to sound like on Andertons TV. Today we are attempting to sound like free, not for free.
Yes. Who are you going to be?
I'm going to be Andy Fraser, the most terrifying player I've had to cover on this series for me personally, because the way he plays is like godly to me. So this is really, really nerve-wracking. Hopefully I'm going to do okay.
And the fact he was like sub 20 years old when he played his style is just outrageous.
And he was 15 when he helped found Free, so there you go.
Playing the Isle of Wight Festival at 17. Anyway, so I'm going to be Mr. Paul Kossoff, the legendary Mr. Paul Kossoff, who was not around long enough either. I mean, it seems to be a thing, like the only real kind of like standing member of Free who's kind of like had a long career is Paul Rogers.
Yeah.
Because Simon Kirk, drummer, he's been around, but he never really did anything. Obviously, Paul Kossoff unfortunately died when he was 25. And Andy Fraser, unfortunately, ain't with us either anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best to sound like those legends. Hopefully we'll do them justice. So Andy and Paul, help us. And we'll start with bass amplifiers. And I'll get out of the way.
Indeed. So Andy actually uses Marshall amps, which obviously is not going to be an option today. He's got quite a mid-rangey tone, so I'm looking for something that I know has kind of already a bit of a mid-rangey voicing. The Ashdown Studios, I think, are going to be a good bet. I don't think so much the Fender Rumble, because it just doesn't quite have the same kind of mid-range voice that the Ashdowns have, and I just think they do the oldie-worldy thing just slightly better in this case. Prices, there doesn't actually seem to be any on these.
Let's find out.
The price jack!
269.
269. So amp in the bag, Ashdown Studio 12 should do the job, hopefully. If you see something else in the room, that means it didn't, but hopefully it will do the job. So on to picking a bass. This is slightly going to be a weird one, because Andy is kind of known for using the EB3 basses, and there are none, and even if there were, there's no way they would be in budget. So I'm thinking P bass with the tone rolled off is probably going to be a good shout. So if there is one that's actually in budget. Okay, so Squier Contemporary Active Precision Bass. I think that one might be a good shout. It's got 2 pickups, so kind of hopefully will give me a bit of an edge. Yeah, slightly more versatile. It's only $399, so I'm thinking that.
I found the perfect bass.
Nicky 6.
Ah, yeah.
I reckon you should use this one because, you know, it's very Andy Fraser.
It just screams Andy Fraser.
Well, we all know he made his name by using one of these, you know, after Nicky 6. He was inspired by Nicky. What?
The Sire might be a good shout, even though it doesn't have a bridge pickup. I think.
The only problem is Squier are very honky. You might not get the darker tone out of it because when you write it down, it's almost like a cocked wah kind of thing.
That's a very good point.
Why don't you try the Active and maybe the Sire and see which one maybe works best? Just out of curiosity, Kat.
Well, experimentation.
Yes.
There's 2 options, whichever one works, I'm sure you'll see in the video room.
So is that it for you? Any pedals?
No pedals.
Or are you just literally just going to stick to amp, bass like Andy? Yeah?
Yep, literally no frills. So guitar time.
Cool. Okay, so guitar-wise, I need a Les Paul. Paul Kossoff, renowned user of a Les Paul, so I need a Les Paul. Could be a problem because Les Paul's long gone are the days of Epiphone being the cheap man's Gibson. It just doesn't happen anymore. Epiphone are really expensive these days, but hopefully we should be okay. And I need an amp that can do a cranked Marshall thing. No pedals. I'm going to do no pedals. I just want an amp and a guitar, just like Paul, Les Paul. Turn it up, crank it out. Just nice and ringy, proper classic 59 Les Paul thing.
It's a no pedal day.
It's a no pedal day. So let's go. I'm going to go guitars first because that's the one I'm most worried about. So let's go and look at Les Pauls. I've got to be careful because a lot of the 59 standard is 749, so that's like way out of budget. Like if I get that, the amp better be £10. Okay, so we got, hang on. Nope. 829. 549. Whoa, where's an SG? And it's still tobacco burst. It's like a 60s because we've got reflecting knobs. It's a standard 60s bourbon burst. It's tobacco burst. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Epiphone. That might be the one.
Yeah?
Feels good. 549, so 600 quid. So basically I've got £400 to spend on an amp.
Well,
So that's pretty cool. So I think I can do it. I think I can do this. So I need to go and look at amps now, but that's going to be the guitar. But in all honesty, if I'm going to do pour costs off, it has to be a burst. It has to be you know, can we strip it as well? Do it like a strip burst. Yeah, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to go with this, and if this doesn't work, then I'm going to burn it.
No amp.
I'm just going to burn it, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's the guitar I'm going to stick with. So you now need to find an amp. So it uses super basses. There's a lot of kind of thing of him using super leads, and I know Daddy did use super leads at some point, but Paul said in an interview that I read years ago that he preferred super basses because they were darker, warmer sounding, very overdriven in a different kind of way, and he liked that more. There is the Catalyst at $249, that's in price. The only thing that stops me with the Catalyst is they tend to be, there's a bit of clarity missing and they're not quite there. It needs to be really rich and clean for Paul. It can't be a kind of like muffled kind of sound. There's always the Behringer, which I'm really tempted by because I did use it for the Jimmy Page one and it kind of did that marshally
do the oldie worldy thing.
I might try the Behringer just because. What is that? Is there a price? Nothing. There's no price.
Price check!
130 quid.
Oh, it's proper beastly. So I'm gonna stick with this. And I'm going to go for the Behringer. And if that's not in the video, then I picked something else. That's me. Is that you?
It is.
That is us. Jump to the video room to be free.
We are back in the video room.
Again.
Oh, I always forget it's the
Yes.
middle one.
Nerds.
Okay, we're back in the video room and I'm looking at the middle camera for once.
Yeah, middle
Yeah.
cam. Right cam, middle cam, left cam. Or is it left or right? I just don't know. Anyway, yeah, so this is our endeavour to sound like the amazing band Free. I went for Paul Kossoff, obviously, the legendary Mr. Paul Kossoff. You are Mr.
Andy Fraser.
Indeed. So, Queenie, run us through your... that pedal board is
I know.
humongous.
I think this is even bigger than my at-home pedal board.
Honestly though, do you need that many pedals?
No.
Disgusting. Anyway, run us through your rig.
So, I went with the Squier Contemporary Active Precision Bass because I did try the Sire, which I thought was behind me, but it's over there. And it kind of just was a bit too clanky. It didn't really do the kind of Andy Fraser, slightly fretlessy, mid-rangey sound that I wanted. This has got a much smoother sound that I can get out of it, so this just worked a bit better for the job. One thing to mention with the bass as well is on Andy Fraser's basses, on the EB3, they've got really flat frets. So a lot of the time when you've got slides going on, and he's a very slidey player, especially on songs like Mr. Big, it's got an almost fretless kind of sound. And when he slides, you get no fret noise, which obviously in this day and age is kind of a challenge to do. So as long as the tone is correct, I'm not too worried about the fret noise because I think you can kind of get around it by just being extra gentle or...
5 minutes with sandpaper.
Yeah. But there are ways to kind of get it to sound a little bit smoother rather than you falling down the stairs when you slide down. But that is just one aspect of the tone that is purely down to how his bass is, which obviously, unfortunately, isn't possible.
No.
But tone-wise, I'm really, really impressed with how this bass did. I think it got really, really close.
It kind of had that kind of clunky sound.
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
it's like
really
that kind of honky, but not
Yeah.
too clangy. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Clangy bass.
Yes, musician terms. Yeah, if you're a budding musician, these are the terms you must learn. Clanky, ploddy, honky,
yeah.
woody,
Woolly.
woolly's a good one. Wheat.
Wheat.
Anyway,
Where do I have these set? So
how have you got it set
So
up?
I've got these all the way on the bridge pickup. Andy actually tended to play on the neck pickup, but I found the sound was actually closer when I was playing on the bridge pickup, so I went with that. Master tone all the way off, and then bass kind of part way on, and this one was all the way off. So on the top of the dual concentric, that's off. But other than that, fairly straightforward.
So
I think it
what's
did really
the
well.
amplifier?
So the amp, the Ashdown Studio 12 did the job perfectly. So on the settings of that, I have bass all the way off, middle all the way on, low mids are at about 11 o'clock, high mids are 1 o'clock, and treble is at about kind of 10 o'clock. So it's not kind of too weird
No, it
of a
sounds good.
setup, but yeah, no bass, because especially this is quite a bassy sounding bass, so it really didn't need any extra bass added in.
Give us a whirl then of the solo bass tone.
Solo bass tone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does the job.
Yeah, it does.
Punchy, isn't it? I mean,
It
for a
is.
small little thing, I was a bit worried. Like, I mean, obviously, we're not. That is one of the major issues we always run into in the sounds like things is because what we've done is we've gone for more of the live kind of tones of free, not the studio ends, because the studio ends are very messed with. Paul's guitars are very, very clean in the studio as well. They're not as distorted as they are live. Andy Fraser's basses are a lot cleaner as well. So we've gone for more of a live version kind of sounds. And the only thing we're always struggle with is obviously these, when they're recorded, these things are run through countless, like there's compressors, there's EQ, there's pre-EQ, post-EQ, whatever, then the mixer's EQ'd, and there's mastering and there's all sorts of stuff. So we've gone for live versions because we feel that's more accurate to what they actually did sound like.
The same goes for future and past
Yeah,
sounds like
exactly.
as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, it's never going to be 100%. We can only ever approximate. Even if you got Andy Fraser and Paul Kossoff in the same room with the amps they use, they're never going to sound the same way twice.
Yeah.
Just for different things. But and I say the only thing that's missing in this one is like, and again, using small amps, you don't get the punch that they had because these guys were using 100-watt Marshall stacks. You know, we've got really tiny amps. You're not going to get the girth, if you will, of that sound. That's another good word for you. Girth. Let's spell it, children. No, it's not. But that is one of the things we do run into. But I think that sounds great.
I think it's a pretty huge sound considering the size of the amp. Yeah.
And I say for at home or even like a small rehearsal or a jam session like that, it's perfect. It's got the
Even
DI
recording as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you want this sound to record with, there's great DI on this amp, and I know these mic up really well as well. And they don't sound like little tiny boxy amps when you record with them, so it's definitely worth considering as well. But price wise, this bass was $399, very beautiful bass. The amp was $269. And together they came to £668, so not bad.
Awesome.
Guitar ways. Let's go guitar lounge, shall we? I turn into Phil from Time Team. This is a Roman guitar. Anyway, people in America will not get that one. I don't know, man. If you're, yeah,
Time team.
if you're in America, do you know what time team is? Anyway.
Do you know why everything's Roman?
Everything's Roman in time team. Anyway, let's talk about guitars. So I went for the Epiphone Les Paul standard 60s thing. That's my phone just tinged. Brilliant. And it did the job. And again, it looks like Paul's Tobacco Sunburst Les Paul. Paul had a few Les Pauls. He started off with a couple. He got one off Eric Clapton, which was a black Les Paul custom P90s staple pickup. But then he went to the main Les Paul I associate with is his stripped burst, which was just this gorgeous natural finish Les Paul with absolutely tons of wear on it. It looked absolutely amazing. And that's the All Right Now guitar, that's the Fire and Water guitar, that is the Les Paul that I associate with Paul. That's the one that did all the things. Later on, he got one that looked like this, Tobacco Burst. It had no scratch plate. And then there's the other one as well, which is another 59, which had the headstock break. But to me, the natural one is the Kossoff Les Paul. This one is the close one. The other one's last for me. But I love this. I love this guitar. It feels great. Sounds really good. I'm impressed. Like I say, not cheap, but pretty cool. Amp-wise, Behringer HA40R. The 40. Or asthmatic's day
Where's
out.
my inhaler gone?
Yeah, indeed. So I was just using the overdrive channel with this one. I wasn't using the clean channel. You don't need clean. It's Paul Kossoff. You turn it up and you crank it to 10. Well, not quite 10, but crank it. So I was using the overdrive channel. I had the gain set at 12 o'clock. Volume is at 11 o'clock. The treble is rolled all the way off. You don't need treble. It's Paul Kossoff. Big mid-rangey sound. The EQ as well, I should mention on the Behringer is like a parametric. So in the middle is 0. Now you can cut or you can boost. So I cut all the treble out. It's all the way off. Mids is at 12 o'clock, so it's basically 0. And bass is boosted all the way up just to simulate the low end of a Marshall Super Bass. No reverb because again, old Marshalls didn't have reverb. You got that from the room you were in. And it sounds really cool. It's got a really big kind of big sound. It sounds great. I'm massively, and also
I love that.
I love this. I am blown away by this. Every time I plug into it, I'm just like, seriously? And it's like 130 quid. It's absolutely crazy. So the bulk of the budget today went on the Epiphone, which is, it's a really, really cool guitar. And the lower budget went on the amp, but the amp did not disappoint at all. And I love it. It's great. And yeah, that's the All Right Now chord, not this. just for people out there who are teaching everyone to play All Right Now like that. That's not how Paul plays it. It's that. Sick of seeing that. That's... These amps are amazing, ridiculously cheap for an amazing sound, and I'm just going to hit that A again. Oh, that's so good! Oh. And then trying to do that Paul Kossoff vibrato where basically just like breaks your fingers, you're just like... Anyway, but all in all, mine came to, that I've forgotten already because I forgot the number, £679 in all.
Nice.
So we're both in the 600s today, and I feel that's really, really good.
Yeah.
It feels great to play through. It sounds great. It sounds to me like them.
Does to me as well.
It's got that really nice raw late 60s, early 70s kind of thing. Like I said, as usual, the only thing it misses is that girth of having big 412 Marshalls cranked to the teeth, but that's to be expected. But other than that, happy days.
Yep.
So, are you happy, Queens?
I am very happy.
Good stuff. So, yes, thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe, things down there. You could win a clon! That thing over there, the silver thing of joy and happiness and joyness. Yeah, that'll do. You could win that. I might win that. I'm subscribed.
I'm subscribed.
If I win it, I'll sell it and I'll take everyone out for food. Okay, so, yeah, anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching, and we hope to see you again for another Soundbite on Andertons TV. From me and CICI, Queenie. I don't know what to call her anymore. Too many names. I've just got one name, Dave. It's boring.
I've got like Karina, Nina, Cici, Queenie. Your choice.
Bass player. Anyway, goodbye now. Bye.
Bye.